CompTIA A Plus Core 2, 220-1102, Practice Exam. Assuming that you have studied and are now well versed in all the topics outlined in the CompTIA A Plus Core 2 exam objectives, then you are ready for the next step in your certification journey. This video is filled with 200 plus questions that closely resemble the real exam and will help you to gauge your readiness. So are you prepared to test your knowledge? Great, let's begin. Question 1. An administrator wants to adjust the security settings on all devices used by employees within a domain environment. Which of the following options would allow the administrator to most efficiently complete this task? The answer is C. Create a new group policy using Active Directory. Creating a group policies using Active Directory streamlines the process of adjusting security settings for all devices within a domain environment. This method offers centralized management, granular control, scalability, ease of deployment, and flexibility in defining security parameters. It provides administrators with a straightforward means of enforcing uniform security standards network-wide. Question 2. In the context of cybersecurity, which of the following methods commonly incorporates SMS or a third-party application as an additional layer of authentication to access a system? The answer is A. MFA. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is widely regarded as a robust cybersecurity measure due to its requirement for users to provide multiple forms of verification. By incorporating methods such as SMS or third-party applications, MFA adds an extra layer of security beyond passwords. This approach mitigates the risk of unauthorized access, making it a common and effective practice in safeguarding systems against cybersecurity threats. Question 3. In a computer setup, a user wants to adjust settings to allow USB devices to be selectively suspended by the operating system. Which of the following control panel utilities would allow the user to access and configure this setting? The answer is B. Power Options. The Power Options utility enables users to adjust power management settings, including the selective suspension of USB devices by the operating system. Within the Power Options utility, users can access advanced power settings, where they can configure options related to USB selective suspend. This feature allows the operating system to selectively suspend USB devices to conserve power, especially when they're not in use. Question 4. A systems administrator needs to manually configure an IP address on a computer running macOS. Which of the following commands would be able to complete this task? The answer is B. ifconfig. The ifconfig command in macOS is a powerful tool for managing network interfaces and their configurations. It stands for Interface Configuration and allows system administrators to view, configure, and control various aspects of network interfaces on the computer. This includes setting IP addresses, net masks, broadcast addresses, and other parameters necessary for network communication. Question 5. An employee receives a phone call from someone posing as an IT technician from the company's help desk. The caller insists on verifying the employee's login credentials for system maintenance purposes. Which of the following social engineering attacks is the employee experiencing? The answer is C. Phishing. Phishing, commonly known as voice phishing, is a form of social engineering where attackers use various forms of voice communication to manipulate individuals into divulging sensitive information or performing certain actions. In a phishing attack, the attacker may impersonate a trusted entity, such as a bank representative, government official, or IT technician, to gain the victim's trust. Question 6. A user notices slow internet speeds on their workstation and suspects that background service connections might be consuming excess bandwidth. Which of the following command line tools should the IT technician employ to examine network connections on the workstation? The answer is C. Netstat. The NetStat tool, short for Network Statistics, provides essential insights into network activity. It displays active connections, routing tables, and interface statistics, aiding IT technicians in diagnosing network issues efficiently. With NetStat, administrators can monitor real-time network traffic, identify any unusual activity, and check routing configurations for connectivity problems. Question 7. In a university's computer science lab, students are discussing the different types of operating systems used in various projects. One student mentions the need for a closed-source operating system for a proprietary software project they're working on. Which of the following operating systems would be the most suitable choice for their closed-source project? The answer is D. Mac OS X. Mac OS, previously known as Mac OS X or OS X, is Apple's proprietary operating system for Macintosh computers. Being proprietary means that its source code is closed and not freely available to the public. This closed-source nature gives Apple exclusive control over its development, ensuring tight integration with its hardware and software ecosystem while limiting user modification and distribution capabilities. Question 8. In a community library equipped with public computers, patrons have complained about a sudden decrease in computer performance. Upon investigation, the technician discovers that the CPU is running at full capacity, despite antivirus scans showing no signs of infection. What is the most probable cause of this issue? The answer is B. A cryptocurrency miner is verifying transactions. In the context of cryptocurrency, transaction verification involves confirming and validating transactions on a cryptocurrency network. In mining, this process includes solving complex cryptographic algorithms, or mathematical puzzles, to add new blocks of transactions to the blockchain. These calculations require a substantial amount of computational power and can cause the CPU or GPU to operate at maximum capacity for extended periods. Consequently, affected devices may become sluggish or unresponsive. Question 9. Which of the following would be used to secure mobile and embedded devices from known exploits? The answer is C. OS updates. OS updates play a critical role in safeguarding devices against known exploits by addressing vulnerabilities discovered after the initial release of the software. These updates include patches that fix identified vulnerabilities, along with security enhancements like improved encryption protocols and authentication mechanisms. By closing exploitable loopholes and keeping pace with evolving threats, updates ensure devices remain resilient to attacks. Question 10. A system administrator is configuring a new Windows 10 workstation and wants to enable a screensaver lock for security purposes. Which of the following options within Windows settings would allow the administrator to accomplish this task? The answer is A. Personalization. Within the Windows Settings menu, the Personalization section serves as a hub for customizing the visual aesthetics and functionality of the Windows desktop. This comprehensive toolkit allows users to tailor various elements to their preferences, including screensavers. Question 11. A technician is responsible for compiling a comprehensive inventory of all IT hardware. Which of the following would the technician most likely use in the creation of this type of documentation? The answer is C. Asset tags and IDs. Asset tags and IDs are essential for accurately tracking and documenting IT hardware inventory. Asset tags are unique identifiers attached to each piece of hardware, while asset IDs are corresponding codes or numbers associated with those tags in a centralized database. By using asset tags and IDs, technicians can easily identify, categorize, and locate individual hardware components within the inventory. Question 12. In a research laboratory, a data management specialist is responsible for maintaining accurate backups of experiment results stored in a folder on a Microsoft Windows workstation. Due to the ongoing nature of research activities, the folder experiences frequent changes, including the addition and deletion of files. Which of the following utilities would be best suited for mirroring the source data during the backup process? The answer is B. Robocopy. Robocopy, short for Robust File Copy, is a command line tool in Windows that excels in copying files and folders with advanced features. It offers mirroring capabilities, ensuring the destination mirrors the source exactly. This includes automatically adding new files and deleting those no longer present in the source. Question 13. In a corporate network, employees are experiencing issues where, upon attempting to access a popular website, they are directed to different websites. What should the network technician investigate first? The answer is D. DNS server. Investigating the DNS server configurations should be the first diagnostic step, as the symptoms suggest a potential DNS resolution issue. DNS translates domain names into IP addresses, and incorrect configurations can lead to users being directed to unintended websites. By checking the DNS server settings, the technician can identify and resolve potential resolution issues, ensuring users are correctly directed to the intended websites. Question 14. A user is experiencing an issue with their mobile device's screen rotation after accidentally dropping it. Despite having the correct settings applied, the screen remains static. What component should the technician consider replacing to fix this problem? The answer is C. Accelerometer. The accelerometer, working in conjunction with other sensors, will detect changes in device orientation and movement, crucial for enabling screen rotation on a mobile device. When the device is rotated, the accelerometer sends signals to the operating system, prompting it to adjust the screen orientation accordingly. If the accelerometer malfunctions or is damaged, it can prevent the screen rotation feature from working correctly, resulting in the screen remaining static. Question 15. A graphics designer needs to manage multiple design projects simultaneously on a Mac workstation. Which macOS feature allows the designer to quickly view all open windows across different applications? The answer is A. Mission Control. Mission Control on macOS offers users a quick overview of all open windows, applications, and desktop spaces on their Mac. It presents a grid of thumbnails representing each window, enabling seamless navigation and switching between tasks. Mission Control also simplifies the management of full-screen apps and incorporates features for efficient window organization. In essence, Mission Control enhances productivity by providing a centralized interface for managing and navigating multitasking activities on macOS. Question 16. The IT department would like to implement a secure connection to protect sensitive data transmitted over the Internet. Which of the following options should the technician choose to establish a tunnel that hides IP addresses and encrypts all network traffic? The answer is C. VPN. A VPN creates a secure tunnel between the user's device and the VPN server, encrypting all network traffic and hiding the user's IP address. This encryption ensures that data transmitted between the user and the VPN server is protected from interception and tampering by unauthorized parties. Additionally, by replacing the user's real IP address with the IP address of the VPN server, a VPN effectively hides the user's identity and location from websites and other online services. Question 17. In a remote work setting, an IT technician receives a call from an employee who is experiencing difficulties with a software application. To provide real-time assistance, which of the following tools would be most suitable for the technician and the employee to simultaneously view the employee's screen? The answer is B. VNC. VNC enables remote assistance by linking two computers via a network connection. The user's computer functions as a VNC server, while the technician's computer operates as a VNC client. Once linked, the client displays the server's desktop in real time, enabling the technician to remotely view and interact with it. Moreover, DNC facilitates simultaneous display and control, allowing both the user and technician to interact with the desktop at the same time. Question 18. Following a recent Windows update, an application fails to launch and displays an error message stating, "Application needs to be repaired." Which of the following control panel utilities should a technician use to repair the application? The answer is C. Programs and Features. Programs and Features is a built-in Windows utility that offers a simple method to repair applications. Users access programs and features from the control panel, locate the application they want to repair, and select it. Then, by choosing the Change or Modify option and selecting Repair, the utility attempts to fix any corrupted or missing files related to the application. Question 19. A student is enrolling in a university's online learning platform. Which of the following documents will the student need to sign before gaining access to the university's student portal? The answer is D. AUP. In this scenario, the university mandates that students sign an AUP, or Acceptable Use Policy, before accessing its student portal. This ensures that students comprehend and agree to adhere to the rules and guidelines governing its use. The AUP offers clarity on acceptable behaviors and consequences for policy violations, fostering responsible and ethical utilization of the university's digital resources. Question 20. In a growing tech startup, the IT department aims to streamline collaboration between Linux-based servers and Windows desktops. Which solution would best facilitate the integration of Linux servers and desktops into the existing Windows Active Directory infrastructure? The answer is A. Samba. Samba is an open-source software suite that enhances compatibility between Linux-based and Windows-based systems. It simplifies the integration of Linux servers and desktops into Windows Active Directory environments. This is achieved by enabling Linux systems to authenticate users against Windows Active Directory, utilizing their Windows domain credentials. Additionally, Samba empowers Linux systems to join Windows domains, thus centralizing the management of user accounts and group policies. Question 21. The IT department is tasked with securely disposing of SSDs that store sensitive data. What is the most secure method for physically destroying these SSDs? The answer is C. Shredding. Regulations often mandate the secure disposal of SSDs containing sensitive data. Shredding is a method that meets these requirements by physically destroying the SSD, ensuring that data cannot be recovered. This compliance ensures organizations adhere to data protection laws and regulations, safeguarding sensitive information from unauthorized access or misuse. Question 22. A customer complains that when trying to access banking websites, the pages flicker on the screen several times before stabilizing. What should the technician do first to address this issue? The answer is B. Confirm the URL in the address bar. When web pages load inconsistently, it could indicate a redirection to a malicious website. Verifying the URL in the address bar allows the technician to ensure that the customer is accessing the genuine banking website, mitigating the risk of being redirected to a fraudulent or compromised site. Question 23. A programmer is developing a new software project using Python. Which file extension is typically associated with Python? The answer is D. .py. The .py file extension is typically associated with Python. This convention allows the operating system to recognize Python files and associate them with the Python interpreter. When a .py file is executed, the Python interpreter reads and executes the code within the file. Question 24. In a classroom setting, students are provided with a device optimized for accessing web-based educational resources and online assignments. Which of the following OS types is designed around a web browser interface, suitable for these student devices? The answer is D. Chromium OS. Chromium OS is a lightweight operating system, specifically designed for Chromebook devices. It revolves around the browser experience, with the Chromium browser serving as the primary interface. Users primarily interact with web applications and services, resulting in a fast, secure, and streamlined computing experience focused on online workflows and applications. Question 25. During an international business trip, an employee reports difficulties with their smartphone. They can't receive emails or browse the internet, although text messages and phone calls function properly. Which of the following is the most likely cause of the issue? The answer is A. Data plan coverage does not support roaming. Since the user can make calls and send text messages, it indicates that the voice and SMS services are functioning correctly. However, the inability to access emails or browse the internet suggests a potential issue with the data plan. With the user traveling, it is possible that the user's data plan does not include roaming coverage in the current location. Question 26. An employee wants to access files stored on a shared network folder from their Windows workstation. Which command line tool would allow them to connect the network drive to the shared folder? The answer is A. NetUse. The NetUse command in Windows is used to map network drives to shared folders. It allows users to establish connections to remote file shares and assign them to drive letters on their local system. By specifying the NetUse command followed by the desired drive letter and the UNC path of the shared folder, users can access files and resources stored on remote servers as if they were stored locally. Question 27. A technician is setting up a new workstation for an employee who frequently connects to the internet without needing a fixed private address. Which of the following protocols is the technician most likely to use? The answer is A. DHCP. DHCP, known as Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, plays a pivotal role in network management by automating the assignment of IP addresses to devices. Instead of manually configuring each device with a fixed or static IP address, DHCP allows devices to obtain IP addresses dynamically as they connect to the network. Question 28. A university is implementing a new network infrastructure across its campuses. A technician is responsible for integrating the classroom computers into the university's domain. However, upon attempting to join the domain, the technician notices that the domain join option is missing from the system settings. Which edition of Windows is most likely installed on the classroom computers? The answer is D. Windows Home. Windows Home editions are primarily tailored for individual or household use, offering a more user-friendly interface and essential features suitable for personal computing needs. However, compared to professional, enterprise, or educational editions, Windows Home lacks several advanced functionalities. One notable absence is the ability to join a Windows domain. Question 29. A cybersecurity analyst investigating a data breach at a financial institution notices suspicious activity indicating that users' inputs are being captured. Which of the following options is most likely responsible for the unauthorized data capture? The answer is C. Keylogger. A keylogger is a type of malicious software that secretly records and monitors the keystrokes made by a user on a computer or mobile device. It captures every key pressed, including passwords, credit card numbers, and other sensitive information, which can then be used by cybercriminals for unauthorized purposes. Question 30. A user encounters difficulties when trying to connect an external Bluetooth adapter to their laptop. Despite several attempts, the device fails to establish a stable connection. Which of the following tools should the technician utilize to diagnose and rectify this issue? The answer is D. dev.mgmt.msc. Device Manager, which can be accessed using the dev.mgmt console file, is a Windows tool for managing hardware devices. It provides a centralized interface to view device status, update drivers, enable/disable devices, and troubleshoot issues. In the scenario, the technician would use Device Manager to investigate and resolve the connectivity problem with the external Bluetooth adapter. Using this tool, they can check if the adapter is recognized, ensure correct drivers are installed, and troubleshoot any errors or conflicts. Question 31. During the implementation of a new customer relationship management system, unexpected issues arise related to data synchronization between departments, affecting multiple functionalities. In this context, what term best describes the extent of these issues? The answer is A. Scope. Scope in change management encompasses the extent of the issues encountered, including the affected systems, activities, objectives, and deliverables associated with a specific change. It outlines what falls within the purview of the change and what remains outside its boundaries. Question 32. A technician recently set up a new workstation with Windows 10. Despite installing 8 GB of RAM, only 4 GB is being recognized by the OS. What is the most probable explanation for this issue? The answer is B. The system is running a 32-bit OS. A 32-bit operating system, such as Windows 10 32-bit, can only address a maximum of 4 GB of RAM. This limitation is due to the binary nature of the 32-bit architecture, resulting in a total addressable memory space of 4 GB. Therefore, even if more than 4 GB of RAM is installed in the system, a 32-bit OS can only utilize up to 4 GB, resulting in the remaining RAM being unrecognized or invisible to the system. Additionally, a small portion of this 4 GB address space is reserved for system hardware, so even less will be considered usable. Question 33. While attending a conference at a convention center, a participant attempts to connect to the public Wi-Fi network. However, they notice several Wi-Fi networks with similar SSIDs, making it challenging to discern the legitimate one. Which of the following social engineering tactics is likely being employed in this scenario? The answer is A. Evil twin. An evil twin attack involves the creation of a malicious Wi-Fi access point that impersonates a legitimate network. Attackers set up a Wi-Fi network with a name similar to that of a trusted network. Unsuspecting users connect to this fake network, thinking it's legitimate, and unknowingly expose their sensitive information to the attacker. The attacker can then intercept and manipulate the user's network traffic, potentially capturing login credentials, financial information, or other personal data. Question 34. A user attempts to boot up their computer but encounters an error message stating, "No OS found." The technician investigates the issue and discovers that the system had posted a smart error a few days earlier. What is the most likely reason the system firmware is unable to locate the OS? The answer is C. Drive failure. Smart error messages provide warnings about a hard drive's condition, signaling potential problems such as bad sectors, impending failure, or data corruption. If the drive storing the operating system files experiences issues and fails, the system firmware cannot retrieve the required files during boot up. Consequently, users will likely encounter the "No OS found" error message. Question 35. Which of the following is used in change management to outline potential problems that might arise when a change is made to a production environment? The answer is D. Risk analysis. In the context of change management, risk analysis involves assessing potential problems or hazards that could arise during the implementation of a change. This process identifies and evaluates factors that may impact the success of the change, such as technical challenges, resource limitations, or unforeseen complications. By conducting risk analysis, organizations can anticipate and prepare for potential obstacles, allowing them to mitigate risks and increase the likelihood of successful change implementation. Question 36. Which of the following is a potential benefit of using WPA2 over WPA3 for securing a Wi-Fi network? The answer is C. WPA2 offers greater device compatibility. WPA2 provides better device compatibility compared to WPA3 due to its longer presence in the market and widespread adoption. Many older devices may not support the newer WPA3 standard, making WPA2 a more practical choice for ensuring compatibility with a broader range of devices. Question 37. A technician is tasked with removing malware discovered on a Windows workstation. Before remediating the infected device, which of the following steps should the technician complete first? The answer is A. Disable System Restore. Disabling System Restore in Windows is the step that precedes remediation in the malware removal process, because System Restore points may contain copies of infected files. If System Restore is not disabled in Windows, there is a risk that the malware could persist even after the removal process is completed. By turning off System Restore, the technician prevents the system from inadvertently restoring infected files during the remediation process, ensuring a more effective cleanup. Question 38. A law enforcement agency seizes a hard drive from an employee's computer as part of a criminal investigation. They need to ensure that the data on the hard drive remains intact and unaltered for forensic analysis. Which of the following considerations should be prioritized when preserving data integrity for forensic analysis? The answer is B. Chain of custody. When law enforcement seizes a hard drive as evidence, they meticulously document every step of its handling, from collection to analysis. This process, known as chain of custody, involves recording who collected the evidence, when and where it was collected, and everyone who accessed it afterward. Chain of custody ensures the integrity of the evidence, establishing its authenticity and reliability for use in legal proceedings. Question 39. While revamping security measures for a company's data center, which of the following would most likely be deployed to enhance physical security? The answer is A. Badge reader and motion sensor. Out of the provided options, badge reader and motion sensor were the only physical security measures listed. The remaining options were logical security measures. Physical security measures encompass tangible methods or tools like locks, cameras, and guards to safeguard physical assets, premises, or people. Conversely, logical security measures are digital safeguards such as encryption, firewalls, and authentication protocols that protect data, networks, and digital systems from cyber threats and unauthorized access. Question 40. A software audit conducted by a technician at a local office reveals that several computers are running unauthorized copies of Windows 10 Home Edition software. What is this most likely to violate? The answer is D. U-Law. An end-user license agreement, or U-Law, is a legal contract between the software manufacturer and the end user, outlining the terms and conditions of software usage. Specifically, in the case of Windows 10 Home Edition, the U-Law typically stipulates that the software is licensed for personal use only and may not be used for commercial, non-profit, or revenue-generating activities. Therefore, installing Windows 10 Home Edition software on computers in a business environment would likely violate the terms of the U-Law. Question 41. An employee complains that whenever they try to visit well-known websites, they are redirected to unfamiliar and potentially malicious sites. Despite clearing the browser cache, the problem persists. What action should be performed next in an attempt to resolve the issue? The answer is D. Inspect the local host's file. The local hosts file is a text file used by the operating system to map hostnames to IP addresses. By manipulating entries in this file, malicious actors can redirect users to unintended websites when they attempt to access legitimate ones. In most cases, this redirection occurs before the browser even attempts to connect to the internet, making it an effective method for altering web traffic and potentially leading to browser redirection issues. Question 42. While setting up a new laptop for a remote employee, a technician wants to ensure that the device's data is securely encrypted in case it's lost or stolen. Which feature should the technician configure on the Windows OS to enable drive-level encryption on the laptop? The answer is B. BitLocker. BitLocker is a drive-level encryption feature in Windows OS designed to protect data by encrypting the entire disk volume. To configure BitLocker, a user typically needs to access the BitLocker drive encryption settings in the control panel or through the Windows security settings. From there, they can select the drive to encrypt, set up authentication methods such as a password, and follow the prompts to complete the process. Once enabled, BitLocker encrypts the drive, making it inaccessible without the proper authentication credentials. Question 43. A user needs to transfer files between different computers running various versions of Windows, including Windows XP, Windows 7, and Windows 10, using a USB flash drive. Which of the following file system types would be the most suitable to ensure read and write compatibility in this scenario? The answer is D. FAT32. FAT32 is widely compatible with multiple operating systems, including various generations and distributions of Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. Its support for file sizes up to 4 GB and partition sizes up to 2 TB makes it suitable for USB flash drives across different platforms, ensuring read and write compatibility. Its simple structure also enhances ease of use and broad device support, making it a popular choice for portable storage solutions. Question 44. Which of the following social engineering threats does a privacy screen on a computer monitor primarily mitigate? The answer is B. Shoulder surfing. Privacy screens are physical filters that limit the viewing angle of a screen, making it difficult for individuals nearby to see the content unless they are positioned directly in front of the screen. This effectively prevents shoulder surfing, where unauthorized individuals attempt to view sensitive information by looking over someone's shoulder. Question 45. A company has a growing number of employees who work remotely or travel frequently. They need to ensure that these employees can securely access the company's internal network and resources from outside the office environment. What solution should the company implement to provide secure access to the corporate intranet for remote employees? The answer is C. Set up a VPN. A VPN, or virtual private network, establishes a secure and encrypted connection between a user's device and a remote server. This connection acts as a tunnel through which all data traffic travels, protecting it from interception by unauthorized parties. By encrypting data packets and routing them through this secure tunnel, VPNs ensure privacy and security for users accessing resources across the internet. Question 46. An IT administrator is considering the operating system options for setting up a server that requires access to the source code and can operate exclusively in a command line environment. Which of the following operating systems would best meet these requirements? The answer is C. Linux. Linux is widely known for its open-source nature, providing users access to the source code for customization and modification. It's highly suitable for hosting various server applications, thanks to its stability, security, and scalability. Moreover, many Linux distributions offer command-line interface-only options, offering advanced users powerful tools for efficient system management. Question 47. A small office is looking to enhance the security of its wireless network. They want to enable automatic logins using certificates in place of passwords for added convenience and security. Which of the following technologies should the wireless solution support to best meet this requirement? The answer is A. Radius. Radius, or Remote Authentication Dial-in User Service, is a protocol for centralized authentication often used in network security. It supports the option for certificate-based authentication, where client devices provide digital certificates to the Radius server for verification when connecting to the network. This method streamlines and secures authentication, offering an alternative to manual password entry. Question 48. A technician is tasked with evaluating new software for potential deployment within the company's network. However, they need to ensure that testing the software won't compromise the functionality of existing systems. Which of the following options would allow the technician to safely test the software? The answer is B. Sandbox. A sandbox is a secure and isolated environment where software can be tested without affecting the rest of the system. It provides a controlled space for running potentially risky programs, allowing technicians to observe their behavior and interactions with the system without the risk of damaging or compromising other systems. Sandboxes are valuable in software testing as they help identify and mitigate potential risks before deploying software in a production environment. Question 49. A user reports that their computer is running slowly, and upon investigation, the technician discovers that the system drive is nearly full. To resolve this issue and improve system performance, which of the following tools should the technician utilize to free up space on the drive? The answer is A. Disk cleanup. Disk cleanup is a utility tool available in Windows operating systems designed to free up disk space on a computer's hard drive. It scans the drive for unnecessary files such as temporary internet files, system cache files, and other temporary files created by various applications and Windows components. Users can select which types of files they want to delete, and disk cleanup will remove them, thereby reclaiming disk space and improving system performance. Question 50. A technician is tasked with partitioning a hard disk that needs to allocate 4 terabytes of free space across 6 primary partitions. Which partition style should the technician select when partitioning the device? The answer is C. GPT. MBR and GPT are 2 partitioning schemes used to organize disk partitions. MBR, common on older systems, supports up to 4 primary partitions or 3 primary partitions and 1 extended partition, with a maximum disk size of 2 terabytes. GPT, a modern alternative, allows for up to 128 primary partitions and supports much larger disk sizes. So, while MBR has limitations in partition count and disk size, GPT offers greater flexibility and scalability for larger storage needs. Question 51. A developer encounters an error message, VT-X/EPT is not supported on this platform, while attempting to install virtualization software on their workstation. Which of the following component upgrades will most likely fix the issue? The answer is A. Processor. The complete error message is, virtualized Intel VT-X/EPT is not supported on this platform. And when encountered, it suggests that the current processor lacks the necessary hardware virtualization support, known as Intel VT-X with extended page tables. Without this feature, the system cannot effectively run virtualization software. Upgrading the processor to one that includes support for VT-X/EPT would address this issue, enabling the installation and proper functioning of virtualization software on the workstation. Question 52. A user reports that their mobile device's screen is not auto-rotating. The technician started by ensuring the feature was enabled and then restarted the device. Unfortunately, the problem persisted. What should the technician do next to troubleshoot the issue? The answer is A. Calibrate the phone's sensors. Auto-rotation functionality hinges on the precise operation of a device's gyroscope and accelerometer sensors. These sensors work in tandem to detect the device's orientation in real time, allowing the screen to adjust accordingly. By calibrating these sensors, the device's software can fine-tune its responsiveness, ensuring that auto-rotation operates smoothly and accurately. This step addresses potential discrepancies in sensor readings, which could be the underlying cause of the auto-rotation issue. Question 53. A user in a corporate environment can only view files stored in a shared Windows folder but cannot make any changes to them due to the security settings configured using NTFS permissions. Which of the following terms best describes this type of logical security control? The answer is D. ACL. NTFS permissions utilize access control lists, or ACLs, to define and manage access to files and folders on Windows operating systems. When a user is limited to read-only access on a shared network folder, it indicates that their permissions are governed by ACLs, ensuring that they can view but not modify the contents. Question 54. A user is attempting to modify system settings on their Windows computer, but they encounter a UAC prompt, which prevents the requested action. Which of the following solutions would allow the user to proceed with the modification? The answer is A. Add the user to the local admin group. User account control, or UAC prompts, are designed to prevent unauthorized changes to system settings by requiring administrator approval. Elevating user privileges by adding the user to the local administrator group allows them to bypass UAC prompts and make the necessary modifications to system settings. This ensures that only authorized users with elevated privileges can make changes to critical system configurations, enhancing security and preventing accidental or malicious modifications. Question 55. A user is trying to access a secure internal application but encounters an error message stating, "The certificate has expired or is not yet valid." The technician confirms that others can access the application without any problems. What should the technician do next to resolve the issue? The answer is D. Verify the computer's date and time. When users encounter certificate validity issues, it is important to consider the accuracy of the system's date and time settings. Certificates are bound by a validity period. If the system's date and time are inaccurate, it can misinterpret the certificate status, leading to errors indicating that certificates are expired or not yet valid, even when they are within their validity period. Therefore, ensuring the correct date and time on the user's computer is paramount to resolving such issues effectively. Question 56. A technician is tasked with granting local administrator privileges to a new user on a Windows Home PC. Which of the following utilities would the technician most likely use to accomplish the task? The answer is B. Accounts. To grant local administrator privileges to a user on a Windows Home PC, the technician would most likely navigate to Windows Settings, then Accounts, and finally, Family and other users to manage user accounts and their permissions. From there, the technician can add the user to the administrators group to grant them local administrator privileges. Question 57. A Windows administrator is tasked with configuring user profiles for a group of new employees in an organization that utilizes Active Directory. They need to set up home directories and assign network resources efficiently. Which of the following options would allow the technician to most efficiently accomplish this task? The answer is A. Group policy. Group policy offers centralized management and configuration of user and computer settings in an Active Directory environment. By defining policies, administrators can automate tasks like mapping network drives, assigning printers, and configuring home directories for multiple users efficiently. This approach streamlines administrative tasks and ensures consistency across the organization. Question 58. A consultant's laptop, containing confidential client information, was lost during a business trip. The laptop, secured with just a basic password, poses a significant security risk. What security measure would be most effective in safeguarding the sensitive data? The answer is D. Full disk encryption. Full disk encryption, or FDE for short, is a robust security measure that encrypts all data stored on a device or disk, ensuring comprehensive protection. In the event of loss or theft, FDE shields sensitive information from unauthorized access by encrypting it with a secure encryption key. This proactive approach mitigates the risk of data breaches and helps maintain confidentiality, integrity, and privacy across various computing environments. Question 59. A technician is investigating slow boot times reported by a user. When attempting to identify programs that start when the operating system boots using msconfig.exe, they encounter a message indicating system configuration no longer manages startup items. Which of the following utilities should the technician use instead to view startup items? The answer is C. Task Manager. Before Windows 10, users could access startup items through the System Configuration utility. However, Microsoft has shifted this functionality to Task Manager with its newer versions. Therefore, Task Manager is now the appropriate tool for viewing startup items. Within Task Manager, users can navigate to the Startup tab to see a list of programs configured to launch automatically when the system boots up. Question 60. A systems administrator is troubleshooting a connectivity issue on a user's laptop, which is preventing access to the corporate network that uses PKI. Which tool is the most suitable for the administrator to use in diagnosing a PKI-related issue? The answer is D. Certificate Manager. With Certificate Manager, the administrator can access a comprehensive view of all installed certificates, including those associated with PKI, or public key infrastructure. This tool enables the administrator to inspect the properties of each certificate, validate their authenticity, and troubleshoot any issues related to certificate-based authentication. Question 61. A company technician needs to enforce specific security policies on employee computers running Windows 10 Professional. Which tool should the technician use to configure these policies on each desktop? The answer is A. gpedit.msc. The Group Policy Editor is a tool used to configure and modify group policy settings on a Windows 10 Professional desktop. It allows technicians to set policies related to security, user access, and system configurations. This is essential for managing individual machine settings locally. Question 62. A company employee needs to ensure that a single folder containing confidential documents is encrypted on their Windows workstation. Which of the following methods should be used to encrypt just one folder? The answer is D. EFS. Encrypting File System, or EFS, is a feature within the Windows NTFS file system that allows users to encrypt individual files and folders. Unlike BitLocker, which encrypts entire drives, EFS provides the flexibility to encrypt specific files or folders. To use EFS, the user can right-click on the folder, select Properties, go to the Advanced button, and check the option to encrypt the contents. Question 63. A home-based business wants to share files and printers between 4 Windows computers without using a central server. Which of the following network arrangements is the best choice? The answer is A. Workgroup network. In a home-based business with a few computers and no central server, a workgroup network is the best choice. A workgroup allows all computers to be part of the same local network, enabling easy sharing of files and printers without the need for a central server. Each computer in a workgroup can act as a client and a server, allowing users to share resources directly. This setup is simple to configure and manage, making it ideal for small networks. Question 64. On a company's website, there's a search bar for product searches, employing input validation that permits only alphanumeric characters to be entered. What security vulnerability does this help address? The answer is C. SQL injection. SQL injection is a common attack vector where malicious SQL code is inserted into input fields to manipulate a website's SQL database. By allowing only alphanumeric characters through input validation, the website prevents users from entering special characters or SQL commands into the search bar. This reduces the risk of SQL injection attacks because the input validation filters out potentially harmful SQL code, helping to protect the integrity of the database. Question 65. Which backup strategy combines aspects of both full and incremental backups to produce a comprehensive backup of all data, while also minimizing the strain on network traffic? The answer is B. Synthetic. Synthetic backups offer a streamlined approach to data protection. They start with an initial full backup, followed by incremental backups capturing only changes since the last backup. Instead of updating the original full backup directly, synthetic backups create a new virtual full backup by merging changes with the original. This process reduces the impact on production systems during backups and simplifies data recovery. Question 66. An IT specialist needs to provide support to a user who is working remotely on their Windows computer. The IT specialist would like to see the user's screen in real time while they troubleshoot the issue together. Which remote access technology should be used to allow both parties to view the screen simultaneously? The answer is D. MSRA. Microsoft Remote Assistance, or MSRA for short, allows a technician to view and interact with a user's Windows workstation in real time. With this remote access option, the technician and the user can see the screen simultaneously. MSRA is built into Windows and provides a secure way for the technician to offer help while the user retains control over their session. This shared view aids in providing a collaborative troubleshooting experience. Question 67. An iPhone was permanently locked after multiple incorrect login attempts. To restore access, which of the following will be needed? The answer is C. Apple ID of primary account and password. When a smartphone is permanently locked after multiple failed login attempts, it typically requires the credentials of the primary account associated with the device to unlock it. This is a security measure to prevent unauthorized access. To restore access, the user must enter the primary account email and password, such as an Apple ID for iPhones or Google account for Android devices. Upon verification of these credentials, the device unlocks, allowing the user to regain access once again. Question 68. A macOS user is concerned about the security of their data and wants to ensure their entire startup disk is securely encrypted using AES 128 encryption. Which built-in macOS utility should they use to accomplish this task? The answer is D. File Vault. File Vault is a feature built into macOS that provides full disk encryption to protect the data on your Mac device. When File Vault is enabled, it encrypts the entire startup disk, including all files, applications, and system files. This encryption ensures that even if someone gains unauthorized access to your Mac or removes the hard drive, they won't be able to access your data without the correct password or recovery key. Question 69. During a customer service call, a client expresses frustration regarding an advanced software feature that is not performing as expected. As a support technician, this specific functionality is beyond your expertise and requires specialized assistance from a dedicated technical team. Despite explaining this to the client, they insist that the issue be resolved immediately. Which of the following options would be best to adopt in this scenario? The answer is B. Apologize and promptly escalate the issue to a manager. Apologizing to the customer demonstrates empathy and understanding of their frustration, which helps in maintaining a positive rapport. By acknowledging their concerns, the support technician validates the importance of the issue to the client. Escalating the problem to a manager or a specialized technical team ensures that it receives the necessary attention and expertise required for resolution. This approach not only shows respect for the customer's time and concerns, but also maximizes the likelihood of a satisfactory outcome. Question 70. A user notices that their laptop screen is dim and quickly turns off when they step away from the device while it's running on battery power. Which Windows setting is most likely to resolve this issue if this is the only problem with the device? The answer is A. Power plans. Power plans in Windows offer users a versatile platform to fine-tune power management parameters, encompassing factors such as screen brightness and screen timeout. These settings can be adjusted dynamically, catering to the varying needs of users whether their laptop is connected to a power source or operating on battery power. By selecting or tailoring a power plan to their specific requirements, users can effectively extend the duration with which the screen remains active and regulate screen brightness levels. Question 71. A cybercrimes case collapses in court due to mishandling of evidence by the investigating agency. Which of the following was most likely violated during the investigative process? The answer is C. Chain of custody. The chain of custody refers to the documented chronological record of who has handled the evidence, when it was collected, where it was stored, and any changes made to it during the investigation process. Maintaining a proper chain of custody is crucial in legal proceedings to ensure the integrity and admissibility of evidence in court. If there are any gaps or discrepancies in the chain of custody, it can undermine the credibility of the evidence and potentially lead to its exclusion from the case, as seen in the scenario provided. Additionally, I hope you have noticed this is not the first time I have asked a question about chain of custody. If I ask a question about any topic multiple times, that is probably because there is a higher probability of this topic showing up when you take the official certification exam. Question 72. Following a series of sophisticated phishing attacks targeting high-level executives in the company, a technician aims to bolster the organization's defenses against such threats. Which measure should the technician focus on implementing to enhance the company's security posture? The answer is D. Institute anti-phishing training. Anti-phishing training is the best option for mitigating phishing attacks. While technical defenses like firewalls, antivirus software, and intrusion detection systems are crucial, they may not address the human vulnerability exploited in phishing attacks. Anti-phishing training educates employees to recognize and avoid such threats, making it the most effective solution for bolstering security in this scenario. Question 73. A user wants to adjust the appearance of their desktop wallpaper on their Windows 10 computer. Which Windows 10 setting should the technician recommend they use to make this customization? The answer is B. Personalization. In Windows 10, the personalization settings allow users to customize various aspects of their computer's appearance, including the desktop background or wallpaper. Within the personalization settings, users can choose from a variety of pre-installed wallpapers or set their own custom image as the desktop background. Additionally, users can adjust other visual elements such as colors, themes, and lock screen backgrounds. Question 74. A user contacts the help desk to report that their Windows 10 workstation is infected with malicious software. Which built-in Windows security feature should the help desk technician employ to scan for and potentially remove the malicious software? The answer is A. Virus and threat protection. The virus and threat protection component within Windows Security provides real-time scanning and protection against viruses, malware, and other malicious software. It includes features such as quick scans, full scans, and offline scans to detect and remove threats from the system. When a user reports an infected workstation, the help desk technician should utilize the Virus and Threat Protection feature to perform a thorough scan of the system and potentially remove the malicious software. Question 75. Upon reviewing network logs, a systems administrator observes a significant increase in outbound network traffic from a workstation in the office. To identify the root cause of this unusual activity, the administrator needs to determine which processes on the workstation are responsible for connecting to the internet. Which tool should the administrator utilize for this investigation? The answer is A. Resource Monitor. The Windows Resource Monitor utility provides real-time monitoring of various system resources, including network activity. By navigating to the Network tab within Resource Monitor, the administrator can promptly identify the processes on the workstation that are initiating connections to the internet. Additionally, they can ascertain the amount of data being sent or received by each connection. Question 76. A user wants to ensure their mobile device remains secure and protected against unauthorized access when it is left unattended. Which of the following would best provide this type of protection? The answer is A. PIN code. A PIN code is a security feature that locks a mobile device and requires the user to enter a numeric code to unlock it. This prevents unauthorized access to the device if it is left unattended. Implementing a PIN code ensures that only individuals who know the code can access the device's contents, protecting sensitive information and applications from unwanted access. Question 77. Following the installation of a recent Windows security patch on company workstations, a systems administrator starts receiving multiple complaints about significant performance slowdowns. What action should the administrator take to quickly address this issue? The answer is B. Roll back the update. If a recent Windows security patch causes significant performance slowdowns, rolling back the updates is the quickest way to address the issue. This action reverts the system to its state before the update, resolving the performance problems directly caused by the patch. Question 78. A corporation has purchased a set of identical new computers for a school, and these computers need to be loaded with a standard image. Which boot method should a desktop administrator use for efficient, large-scale deployment? The answer is D. Pixie boot. Pixie boot, short for pre-boot execution environment, allows computers to boot from a network, making it the most efficient method for a large-scale deployment of a standard image across identical computers. It eliminates the need for manual intervention and individual media like USB drives or optical media, resulting in a streamlined deployment process. Question 79. After replacing a company workstation, the user complains that they can't access the company's internal website located at https://intranet.mycompany.com:8080. All other internet connections are working as expected. Which configuration should the user adjust to allow connectivity? The answer is D. Firewall settings. Since the internal website is accessed through HTTPS at port 8080, the firewall may be blocking incoming or outgoing traffic on this specific port. By reviewing and adjusting the firewall rules to allow traffic on port 8080, the IT administrator can ensure that employees can access the internal website without any issues. This adjustment ensures that the firewall permits the necessary traffic to reach the internal website on the specified port, resolving the connectivity issue effectively. Question 80. As part of implementing a software update, a company's IT department has made significant changes to the system configuration. However, shortly after the changes are applied, several critical functionalities of the system start malfunctioning. What change management term best describes the predefined steps that need to be taken to revert the system to its previous state in such situations? The answer is B. Rollback plan. In this scenario, the most suitable change management term is rollback plan. This term encompasses a predefined set of steps designed to revert the system to its previous state in the event of unexpected issues arising during or after the implementation of changes. It outlines the necessary actions to undo the recent modifications and restore the system's functionality to ensure minimal disruption to business operations. Question 81. A small business is looking to improve its logical security measures by introducing multi-factor authentication for its employees. The business aims to do this with minimal additional cost. Which solution would best fulfill this requirement? The answer is B. Software tokens. Software tokens are software-based authentication methods that can be easily installed on employees' existing devices, such as smartphones or computers, often through an application. This approach leverages devices that employees already own, eliminating the need to spend on additional hardware. Software tokens provide a secure and cost-effective way to implement multi-factor authentication by generating time-based one-time passwords or push notifications for authentication. Question 82. An IT technician finds that a computer's hard disk drive has failed in an employee's workstation. With regards to asset management, what should be the technician's logical next step? The answer is B. Verify the warranty status with the vendor. When a hardware component fails, determining if it is still under warranty can save the company money and ensure the replacement process is handled by the vendor. If the drive is under warranty, the vendor will provide a replacement. If not, the technician can then consider alternative options. Question 83. A graphic designer in an office has connected a second monitor to their computer and wants to extend their workspace across both screens for better multitasking. Where in the Windows settings should they go to set up this dual display configuration? The answer is A. System. To set up a dual display configuration in Windows, the graphic designer should access Windows settings, then select System, followed by Display. From here, they can detect additional displays, choose to mirror or extend the desktop across multiple screens, and adjust settings like resolution and orientation. Question 84. A user has just installed a new internal SSD into their desktop computer to expand storage capacity. However, upon booting up the system, they notice that the SSD isn't recognized by the operating system. Which of the following Windows tools can the user employ to initialize and format the newly installed SSD? The answer is A. Disk Management. Disk Management, a built-in Windows utility, is designed to manage disk drives and partitions. When a new storage device, such as an SSD, isn't recognized by the system, it often needs initialization and formatting before it can be used. Disk Management provides the necessary features to perform these drive-related tasks and more. Question 85. A user aims to enhance the functionality of their Linux desktop by installing a new software package. Which command should they use for this task? The answer is D. Yum. Yellow Dog Updater Modified, or Yum for short, is a command-line package management utility used in Red Hat-based Linux distributions. It is used to install, update, and manage software packages on the system. When a user wants to add new functionality to their Linux desktop by installing a new software package, they would typically use the yum command. They can do this by running the command yum install package name, where package name is the name of the software package they wish to install. Question 86. Which of the following would most likely be used to extend the life of a compute device? The answer is C. Proper ventilation. Maintaining proper ventilation is crucial for extending the lifespan of a compute device. Adequate airflow helps dissipate heat, preventing overheating and thermal stress, which can lead to hardware failure. By ensuring that devices stay cool, proper ventilation directly contributes to the longevity and reliable performance of compute devices. Question 87. A technician is called to repair a Windows 10 laptop that experienced a sudden failure. During the boot process, the system prompts for a key, but the administrator password does not work. Which key does the technician most likely need to access the laptop and continue the repair? The answer is D. BitLocker recovery key. BitLocker is a disk encryption feature in Windows 10 that protects data by encrypting the entire drive. If there is a sudden failure or significant hardware change, BitLocker might require the recovery key to ensure that unauthorized users cannot access the encrypted data. The recovery key is a unique 48-digit numerical password generated when BitLocker is first enabled. It is different from the administrator password and is specifically used to unlock the encrypted drive when normal authentication methods fail. Question 88. To execute commands on their macOS device via the command line interface, which built-in application should the user launch? The answer is C. Terminal. Terminal, a native application on macOS, grants users access to the command line interface. Through text-based commands, users can execute a variety of actions, such as manipulating files, running scripts, installing software, and more. This tool is invaluable for developers, system administrators, and advanced users seeking to manage and tailor their macOS environment to their needs. Question 89. During a routine check on a macOS system, a technician notices signs of ransomware, including a request for payment using cryptocurrency. Upon verifying the malware symptoms, what should the technician do first? The answer is A. Quarantine the infected system. When dealing with a suspected malware infection, the first priority is to prevent the malware from spreading further. Disconnecting the infected device from the network helps contain the malware and prevents it from communicating with other devices or networks. This action can stop the malware from spreading to other systems and potentially causing further damage or data breaches. Question 90. A gaming server suddenly experiences a significant slowdown in its services, causing frustration among its users. Upon investigation, the security team identifies malware as the culprit. What type of infection is the server most likely experiencing? The answer is A. Botnet. In this scenario, the server has likely fallen victim to botnet malware, which covertly hijacks the system, transforming it into a zombie, under the command of a remote attacker. Once compromised, the server becomes part of a vast network known as a botnet. Through sophisticated remote control mechanisms, the attacker harnesses the collective computing power of this compromised device. With enough zombies at their disposal, an attacker can orchestrate a distributed denial of service (DDoS) attack against their chosen target. Question 91. A user complains that their Windows Home PC is taking unusually long to open applications and save files. After inspecting the computer, the technician finds that the system is using an older HDD with adequate free space. Which of the following tools would the technician most likely use to improve the PC's performance? The answer is B. Disk defragment. Disk fragmentation happens as files are saved, deleted, and modified, causing parts of files to be scattered across a hard disk drive, or HDD. This fragmentation makes the HDD work harder to access files, slowing down the system. Running disk defragment reorganizes these fragmented files, storing them in contiguous sectors, which improves access speed and overall system performance. Thus, the technician should first run disk defragment to address the sluggish performance. Question 92. After a recent Windows update, a user finds that their printer and external hard drive are no longer working with their laptop. Additionally, rebooting the system did not solve the problem. What should the technician do next to resolve this issue? The answer is D. Roll back the recent update. When a Windows update causes issues with hardware, such as printers or external hard drives, rolling back the update is a reliable solution. This process reverts the system to a previous state before the update was installed, undoing any changes that may have caused the incompatibility. Question 93. If a technician wants to share a document with a colleague who's on a different computer but on the same local network, and both are using Windows, which built-in protocol should they use for the file transfer? The answer is B. SMB. The most suitable built-in protocol for facilitating file transfers between two computers on the same local network running Windows OS is the Server Message Block, or SMB protocol. SMB is commonly used for sharing files, printers, and other resources between devices on a network. It allows for efficient and convenient file sharing and access control within a Windows environment. Question 94. You're working on a project where you need to automate tasks on Windows devices using a Visual Basic script. You want to execute this script's .vbs file efficiently. Which of the following options would be the most appropriate choice for running the .vbs file? The answer is C. cscript.exe. cscript.exe is the command line scripting engine provided by Microsoft for executing Visual Basic script files. It allows for the execution of scripts in a command line environment, providing options for output redirection and control over script execution. It's specifically designed for running scripts and is optimized for script execution tasks, making it the most suitable choice for running .vbs files when automation tasks are involved. Question 95. You're investigating a slow boot problem on a computer and aim to speed up the boot times while minimizing costs. What action would you most likely take to address the issue? The answer is C. Use Task Manager to control which programs launch at startup. Using Task Manager to control startup programs involves managing which applications launch automatically when your computer starts up. By accessing the Startup tab in Task Manager, you can review the list of programs set to launch and their impact on boot time. You can disable unnecessary programs to speed up boot time and enable essential ones for efficient operation. This helps optimize system performance and efficiency by ensuring only needed programs run in the background. And all this can be performed without incurring any additional hardware costs. Question 96. A user just installed specialized software on their workstation that requires enhanced security measures to run. However, when they try to launch the software, an error message pops up, indicating that the software is not currently authorized to run on this device. Which of the following actions will most likely resolve this issue? The answer is B. Attach the required external hardware token. A hardware token is a physical device used for authentication purposes. It typically generates a unique code that the user inputs during login or software access. This adds an extra layer of security beyond traditional password-based authentication. In this scenario, the specialized software likely requires this hardware token for authentication. By connecting the external hardware token to the workstation, the software can verify the user's identity and authorize its operation. Question 97. In a small office setting, what would be the most appropriate and cost-effective choice for organizing Windows computers into a network? The answer is B. Microsoft Workgroup. Microsoft Workgroup refers to a network setup commonly used in small offices or home offices, where computers are organized into a peer-to-peer network. In this configuration, each computer functions both as a client and a server, managing its own user accounts and resources without a centralized authority. Workgroup networks are straightforward to set up and manage, making them suitable for smaller environments. However, they have limited scalability compared to domain-based networks. Question 98. An employee at a tech company needs to access a secure internal system for project management and collaboration. However, when attempting to log into the company's project management platform, they encounter an error message stating, "There is a problem with this website's security certificate." Despite rebooting their computer, the error persists. What should the employee do to prevent encountering the security certificate error again? The answer is D. Install a trusted root certificate for the company. By adding the company's root certificate into their list of trusted certificates, the employee effectively instructs their computer to acknowledge and trust the security certificate used by the company's internal systems. This deliberate action serves to eliminate the occurrence of security certificate errors, which often arise when the computer fails to recognize or validate the authenticity of the security certificate presented by a system. Question 99. A school's IT department is revamping its security protocols for student computers. As part of this effort, they're implementing a new policy that automatically returns users to the login prompt after 5 minutes of inactivity. Which method of computer security is the IT department implementing with this new policy? The answer is C. Screen lock. The IT department's implementation of a policy prompting users to log in again after 5 minutes of inactivity primarily emphasizes screen lock security. Screen lock is a crucial security feature that automatically locks the computer screen after a period of idleness, requiring users to re-authenticate themselves to regain access. This measure helps prevent unauthorized access to the computer and sensitive data when users are away from their desks or not actively using the device. Question 100. A design company experienced a security breach when a freelance designer unknowingly inserted a compromised USB drive into a workstation, leading to the covert installation of malicious software. Which security measure should be prioritized to mitigate the risk of similar security breaches in the future? The answer is D. Restrict user permissions for software installations. By restricting user permissions for software installations, you can effectively prevent unauthorized or harmful programs from being installed, reducing the risk of malware infiltration through USB drives. Additionally, you may want to disable the USB Auto Run feature to further enhance security by preventing automatic execution of programs from USB drives. Either of these measures would help to strengthen the company's defenses against similar security breaches in the future. Question 101. A company is upgrading one of its computer systems and plans to reuse an old hard drive that previously stored sensitive employee information. Which of the following drive repurposing methods would be best to use in this scenario? The answer is C. Low-level formatting. If there's a need to repurpose a drive with sensitive information, low-level formatting goes beyond just deleting files and folders. It also resets the drive's internal structure to its factory default state. This comprehensive process erases not only visible data but also any hidden remnants that might be in unused areas of the drive. By returning the drive to its original configuration, it significantly reduces the chance of any sensitive information remaining. This makes low-level formatting more effective than standard formatting or data wiping for ensuring thorough data erasure. Question 102. An IT technician needs to deploy a new software application across a large enterprise, ensuring compliance with the EU law while minimizing license management complexity. The goal is to cover all users within the company without needing individual licenses for each user. Which type of software license should the technician choose? The answer is B. Corporate Use License. A corporate use license is specifically designed for organizations. It allows the software to be used by multiple users within the company under a single licensing agreement. This type of license simplifies license management by reducing the need to handle individual licenses for each user, ensuring compliance with the EU law and making it easier to manage the software deployment across the entire enterprise. Question 103. An IT administrator is tasked with designing and implementing a server backup system that minimizes the storage capacity used. To achieve this, they are considering using synthetic full backups. Which backup approach should they use alongside synthetic full backups to best meet their goal? The answer is A. Incremental. Incremental backups are ideal with synthetic full backups because they only save data changed since the last backup, significantly reducing storage use. Synthetic full backups then combine the last full backup with all incremental backups to create a new full backup efficiently. This minimizes storage requirements and optimizes backup processes. Question 104. A system administrator is noticing that virtual machines running on a Type 2 hypervisor are sluggish, particularly during software builds and source code compilations. To enhance the hypervisor's performance, which component should the system administrator most likely upgrade? The answer is A. Quantity of RAM. Upgrading the system RAM will improve the performance of the Type 2 hypervisor, especially during resource-intensive tasks like software builds and compilations. More RAM allows virtual machines to operate more efficiently, reducing lag and improving overall performance. Question 105. A technician has successfully implemented a production system change that was authorized by the Change Advisory Board. What should the technician do next to comply with the change management process? The answer is D. Record the date and time the change took place in the change log. After implementing an authorized change, it is essential for the technician to document the date and time of the change in the change log. By documenting the date and time, the organization can track when the change was made, which helps in future troubleshooting, auditing, and compliance efforts. It also ensures accountability and provides a clear timeline for any post-change evaluations or follow-ups. This practice supports the overall integrity and reliability of the change management process. Question 106. A company is developing a security policy to protect confidential corporate data on BYOD mobile devices. To proactively secure these devices and prevent unauthorized access in case of loss or theft, which technologies should be included in the policy? The answer is C. Full device encryption. Full device encryption ensures that all data stored on the device is encrypted, making it unreadable without the correct decryption key. This measure is crucial for protecting sensitive information if the device is lost or stolen. Another solution not listed in the answer pool is remote wipe, which allows the company to remotely erase all data on a device if it is lost or stolen. Both of these measures can significantly enhance the security of confidential information stored on mobile devices. Question 107. A user is accessing a news website to read the latest articles, but the site is showing outdated information. What should the user do before reloading the page to ensure they see the most current content? The answer is D. Clear browser cache. Clearing the browser cache is an effective way to ensure that the browser loads the most current version of a web page. When a user visits a website, the browser stores or caches certain elements of the page to improve load times for future visits. However, this can sometimes result in displaying outdated content if the website has been updated since the last visit. By clearing the browser cache, the stored copies of previously visited web pages are removed, forcing the browser to fetch the latest version of the web page directly from the server. Question 108. A user is unable to boot their Windows computer and encounters an error message stating, "Boot manager is missing. Press Ctrl-Alt-Delete to restart." If this error is encountered, what should the user attempt first to address this issue? The answer is A. Repair Windows. The boot manager is missing error usually indicates a problem with the boot manager files on the system, which are essential for starting Windows. The boot manager is a small piece of software that helps load the operating system during the boot process. When this error occurs, it typically means that the boot manager files are missing, corrupted, or misconfigured. The first step to address this issue is to repair the Windows installation. This can often resolve the problem without affecting other data on the hard drive. Question 109. A company's IT department needs to efficiently manage and keep track of all hardware assets. What should the technician implement to achieve this goal? The answer is A. Database system. Implementing a database system allows the IT department to store, organize, and manage data related to hardware assets. This centralized system ensures accurate tracking, updating, and reporting of assets, facilitating better asset management. Question 110. A technician has successfully removed malicious software from an infected Windows computer. The technician has also scheduled future scans and performed system updates. What should the technician perform next? The answer is B. Create a restore point. After successfully removing malware, scheduling future scans, and running system updates, the next step in the malware removal process is to enable System Restore and create a restore point on the Windows device. This allows the computer to save a good copy of its settings and files while the system is in a malware-free state. Question 111. A user is working on a project that requires accessing shared network resources frequently. To simplify this process, he decides to map a network drive on his Windows computer using the command line. Which of the following command line tools should be used to map the network drive? The answer is B. NetUse. The NetUse command is specifically designed to connect a computer to shared resources, such as network drives and printers. This command allows users to assign a drive letter to a network location, making it accessible as if it were a local drive. By using NetUse, the user can efficiently manage and access the network resources needed for their project. Additionally, the command provides options to view existing connections and disconnect from network resources as needed. Question 112. In a company's shared drive, employees often create new subfolders for project collaboration. However, whenever someone creates a new subfolder, only the creator can access it by default, causing issues for team collaboration. Which of the following actions will most likely ensure all team members can access these newly created folders? The answer is C. Enable inheritance. Inheritance is a feature that allows new objects, such as subfolders, to automatically adopt the permissions of their parent folder. Enabling inheritance will ensure that new subfolders inherit the permissions set on the parent folder, making them accessible to all team members. This simplifies permissions management and supports seamless collaboration, avoiding the need to manually set permissions on each new subfolder. Question 113. A user is setting up a new computer with Mac OS and needs to install several applications. In which of the following system directories is the software most likely to install by default? The answer is A. /applications. The default directory for installing applications on Mac OS is /applications. This directory is specifically designed to house applications, making it easily accessible for users to find and launch their software. It helps in keeping the system organized and distinguishes installed applications from system files and user data. Question 114. A client contacts a tech support center seeking assistance with a malfunctioning software application. Which of the following techniques should the technician use to properly evaluate and address the client's issue? The answer is D. Use open-ended questions to gather more detailed information. Open-ended questions allow the client to provide comprehensive details about the issue, helping the technician understand the problem more thoroughly. This technique ensures that all aspects of the problem are considered, leading to a more accurate and effective resolution. It also encourages better communication and a more collaborative troubleshooting process. Question 115. A small business owner is configuring backup solutions for their office computers. The primary goal is to make the restoration process as straightforward as possible in case of data loss. Which type of backup should the business owner choose? The answer is A. Full. A full backup captures all the data at once, creating a complete copy of everything. In the event of data loss, restoring from this backup is straightforward because only a single backup file or set is needed. This eliminates the need to piece together data from multiple incremental or differential backups, simplifying the recovery process significantly. Question 116. After a visual inspection of a user's device, a technician finds a USB drive connected to the computer that contains two suspicious files, data_capture.exe and log_output.txt. Which of the following attacks is most likely occurring? The answer is D. Keylogger. The presence of files named data_capture.exe and log_output.txt suggests that the attack involves capturing and logging user data. This type of attack typically aims to steal sensitive information, such as passwords or personal data, by logging the user's keystrokes. The discovered USB drive and the nature of the files would likely indicate that a keystroke recording program is active on the computer. Question 117. An administrator working with a Linux system needs to view all files in a directory, including hidden ones. Which of the following ls command options will display hidden files and directories? The answer is A. ls-a. When using the ls command on a Linux system, the -a option ensures that all files, including those that are hidden, are displayed in the directory listing. This is particularly useful for viewing configuration files and other hidden data that might be crucial for various system operations or software configurations. Question 118. A company has a policy to shred all sensitive documents before disposal to prevent unauthorized access to information. Which of the following social engineering attacks is most likely avoided by this practice? The answer is A. Dumpster diving. Dumpster diving involves searching through trash to find valuable information that has been discarded. Shredding sensitive documents before disposal prevents attackers from retrieving and using discarded information. This practice specifically counters attacks where individuals search through physical trash to find valuable data. Proper disposal of documents, including shredding, helps ensure that sensitive information is not accessible to unauthorized individuals. Question 119. A technician is setting up a new computer system and is deciding which file system to use for optimal performance and compatibility with the latest version of Microsoft Windows. They want to choose a file system that replaced the older FAT file system. Which of the following file systems should the engineer choose to best meet these requirements? The answer is D. NTFS. NTFS, which stands for New Technology File System, is a file system developed by Microsoft for its Windows operating system. It was introduced to replace the older FAT file system and offers several advantages over its predecessor. NTFS supports larger file sizes and volumes, improved data security through file encryption, and better reliability with features like journaling. It also includes advanced functionalities like file compression and file permissions, making it the preferred choice for modern Microsoft Windows systems. Question 120. A company's IT department needs to grant local administrative privileges to an employee on their workstation. Which control panel utility in Microsoft Windows 10 should the technician use to accomplish this task? The answer is C. User accounts. The user accounts utility in the control panel is used to manage user permissions and account types. Through this utility, a technician can change a user's account type from a standard user to an administrator, thereby granting them local administrative privileges. This allows the user to perform tasks that require administrative rights, such as installing software or changing system settings. Question 121. An IT technician needs to manage a Windows 10 tablet to ensure it does not exceed a certain amount of cellular data usage during business trips. Which of the following actions is most effective for the technician to achieve this? The answer is B. Set the connection to be metered. Metered connection is a built-in Windows feature designed to help manage data consumption when confronted with limited data plans. In this scenario, setting the connection to be metered allows the Windows 10 tablet to recognize the cellular data connection as one with limited data availability. This setting will reduce background data usage and prioritize essential data functions. Question 122. A company's IT department wants to ensure that employees have only the necessary access to perform their specific job roles. Which of the following best aligns with this goal? The answer is C. Least privilege. The principle of least privilege ensures that users are granted the minimum levels of access or permissions needed to perform their job functions. This approach minimizes the potential for misuse of information, whether accidental or intentional. Implementing this principle helps in maintaining a more secure and controlled environment. Question 123. A tech organization has recently implemented a BYOD policy that allows employees to use their personal devices for work purposes. To mitigate the risk of corporate data leakage on these devices, what should the organization implement? The answer is B. MDM. Mobile Device Management, or MDM, is a security software used by organizations to monitor, manage, and secure mobile devices that are used for work purposes. MDM solutions provide features such as device tracking, data encryption, application management, and remote data wipe, which are crucial for protecting corporate data on personal devices. Implementing MDM helps ensure that all devices comply with the organization's security policies, reducing the risk of corporate data leakage. Additionally, if you did not understand the BYOD acronym, BYOD stands for Bring Your Own Device, a policy that allows employees to use their personal devices, such as smartphones, tablets, and laptops, for work purposes. This approach can increase flexibility and productivity, as employees are often more comfortable and efficient using their own devices. Question 124. A company has a sensitive data center that needs to be secured. They want to ensure that only authorized personnel can enter while maintaining a record of each entry. Which of the following security measures would best meet their requirements? The answer is D. Access Control Vestibule. An access control vestibule, also known as a mantrap, is a secure space with interlocking doors that only allow one door to open at a time. This setup ensures that individuals must be verified before entering a restricted area. It provides a high level of security by controlling access and maintaining a record of each entry, making it ideal for sensitive areas like data centers. Question 125. An employee working on a laptop encounters difficulties accessing their company's email and other network resources. Upon checking the internet connection, they notice that the Wi-Fi network they are connected to is unfamiliar. The help desk technician suspects that the user may be connected to a rogue access point. What is the first step the help desk technician should advise the user to perform? The answer is C. Instruct the user to disconnect from the Wi-Fi. When a user is suspected to be connected to a rogue access point, the primary concern is to immediately disconnect from that network to prevent any potential data breach or security threat. Rogue access points can be used by attackers to intercept sensitive data, perform man-in-the-middle attacks, or gain unauthorized access to the device. Disconnecting from the suspicious Wi-Fi network minimizes the risk of these threats and allows the technician to further investigate the issue safely. Question 126. A network engineer at a large company is tasked with diagnosing intermittent connectivity problems affecting internal servers. Employees are experiencing frequent disconnections and unstable network performance. Which of the following command line tools should the engineer use to gather the most comprehensive data for analysis? The answer is D. Path ping. Path ping is a powerful diagnostic tool that combines the functionality of ping and traceroute. It provides detailed information about network latency and packet loss along each step from the source to the destination, making it ideal for identifying problematic network segments. This comprehensive data helps in pinpointing where the network issues are occurring. Question 127. A technology firm is upgrading its office with advanced video conferencing systems in every meeting room. Which of the following network types would most likely be impacted in this situation? The answer is B. LAN. Installing advanced video conferencing systems in multiple rooms will increase the demand on the local area network, or LAN, within the office. This network type connects devices within a limited area, such as a building, and will need to be able to handle the increased data traffic from the new equipment. Question 128. A company technician is tasked with configuring advanced system settings on multiple Windows workstations. To streamline the process, the technician needs to ensure they have permanent administrator access on each machine. Which of the following Windows tools should be used to accomplish this task? The answer is A. Local users and groups. The Local Users and Groups tool in Windows is used to manage user accounts and groups. By adding a user account to the administrator's group, a technician can grant themselves permanent administrator access, allowing them to make system changes without needing to elevate permissions repeatedly. This tool also allows for the creation, deletion, and modification of user accounts and groups, providing comprehensive control over user permissions and access levels. Question 129. A technician is helping a user troubleshoot a problem on their macOS computer. To effectively assist the user, the technician needs to view the user's screen simultaneously. Which of the following default system tools can the technician use in macOS for this purpose? The answer is C. Screen sharing. Screen sharing is a built-in tool in macOS that allows users to share their screen with another person. This feature enables a technician to view and control the user's screen in real time, facilitating efficient troubleshooting and support. It eliminates the need for additional software and provides a seamless way to assist users remotely by leveraging the native capabilities of the operating system. Question 130. A user notices that their Windows 10 computer is taking a long time to boot up due to multiple applications starting automatically. Which Windows built-in utility should they use to manage and disable these startup applications? The answer is B. Task Manager. In Windows 10, the management of startup applications was moved from the System Configuration tool to the Task Manager. The Task Manager now includes a dedicated Startup tab where users can enable or disable programs that run at startup. This change provides a more user-friendly and integrated approach to managing system performance and processes, all within the Task Manager utility. Question 131. A user is trying to access a secure website from their workstation and encounters an invalid certificate error. Other users on the same network do not face this problem. What is the most likely cause of this issue? The answer is A. The workstation's date and time settings are incorrect. Incorrect date and time settings on a workstation can lead to certificate errors because certificates are valid only within specific time frames. If the system's clock is not accurate, it can misinterpret a valid certificate as expired or not yet valid. Therefore, ensuring the correct date and time is essential for proper certificate validation. Question 132. A company is working on an initiative to repurpose old hard drives for future use. They need to quickly and easily remove non-sensitive data from the drives before they are reassigned. Which method would best meet these requirements? The answer is C. Standard formatting. Standard formatting is ideal for quickly and easily removing non-sensitive data from hard drives. This method erases the file system structure, making the data inaccessible for typical users, and is much faster to perform than more thorough methods, like low-level formatting. For non-sensitive data, standard formatting is efficient and sufficient, allowing the drives to be quickly repurposed without the need for more time-consuming data repurposing techniques. Question 133. A user needs to store and manage their various passwords and certificates on their macOS device. Which tool should they use for this purpose? The answer is C. Keychain. The macOS keychain is designed to securely manage passwords, certificates, and other sensitive information. It encrypts this data, ensuring that only authorized users can access it. Keychain integrates seamlessly with macOS and its applications, allowing users to autofill passwords and other credentials across websites and apps securely. By using Keychain, users can maintain strong, unique passwords for different accounts without the need to remember each one individually, thus enhancing both security and convenience. Question 134. A large organization conducts an annual review of all its physical and digital assets. Which of the following actions would most effectively provide the organization with a comprehensive understanding of the total cost of its assets? The answer is B. Creating an asset database. Creating an asset database helps an organization consolidate all relevant information about its assets in one place. This database can include details on acquisition costs, maintenance expenses, depreciation, and more, providing a comprehensive view of the total cost associated with each asset. With this centralized data, the organization can make informed decisions regarding asset management and optimization. Question 135. During a routine security audit, a company discovers that several critical files are encrypted and inaccessible. Shortly after, an anonymous message appears, demanding a payment in cryptocurrency to decrypt the files and restore access. Which of the following types of malicious software is responsible for this situation? The answer is C. Ransomware. Ransomware is a type of malicious software specifically designed to block access to a victim's data by encrypting files and demanding a ransom payment for the decryption key. This payment is often requested in cryptocurrency, which provides anonymity for the attackers. The attack typically targets individuals or organizations, causing significant disruption to operations and potentially leading to substantial financial losses. Victims are left with the difficult choice of either paying the ransom or risking permanent data loss. Question 136. A company's IT manager is developing guidelines to regulate which websites employees can visit during work hours. What type of document is the manager most likely preparing? The answer is B. AUP. An acceptable use policy, or AUP, is a set of rules that governs the ways in which a system may be used. It specifies what users are allowed and not allowed to do when using company resources such as computers, networks, and internet access. The document the IT manager is creating outlines permitted online activities for employees, defining acceptable behavior and usage of company resources. This ensures compliance with organizational policies and helps maintain a secure and efficient work environment. Question 137. A company needs to ensure that a specific task runs automatically every time a user logs into their Windows workstation. This task involves copying a large file from the local machine to a designated folder on a network drive using a script. Which of the following file types would most likely be used for this type of script? The answer is A. .bat. A .bat file or batch file is a special type of text file containing a series of commands that are executed by the Windows command line interpreter. These commands are executed in sequence, allowing for automation of tasks such as file management, program execution, and system configuration. Batch files are useful for scripting repetitive tasks, making them ideal for scenarios where automation is needed. Question 138. A user is working on their Mac OS computer when an application suddenly stops responding. They need to close this unresponsive application. Which of the following Mac OS features can help the user close the unresponsive application? The answer is D. Force quit. Force quit is a feature in macOS designed to allow users to close applications that have stopped responding. Users can access it through the Apple menu by selecting Force quit, or they can use the keyboard shortcut, Command-Option-Escape, to bring up the Force quit applications window. This feature is crucial for maintaining system stability and preventing further issues when an application fails to close normally. Question 139. Which of the following file system types is natively used by a macOS device? The answer is C. APFS. The Apple File System, or APFS for short, is designed specifically for macOS to optimize performance and efficiency. It offers features like strong encryption, space sharing, and improved file system management. APFS has been the default file system for macOS devices since the release of macOS High Sierra in 2017. Question 140. A company has recently hired a contractor that will be performing nighttime building maintenance. As such, the IT manager is worried about the security risks associated with unsupervised contractors having access to the office. Which of the following security measures can help prevent unauthorized access to the computers? The answer is A. Enable screen locks. Enabling screen locks ensures that computers automatically lock after a period of inactivity, preventing unauthorized individuals from accessing the system. This is particularly important when computers are left unattended, such as during night shifts when cleaning staff or other unsupervised personnel are present. By requiring a password or other authentication method to unlock the screen, this measure helps secure sensitive information. Also, while not presented as an answer option, restricting login times could be another viable solution in this scenario. Question 141. A system administrator needs to restrict access to a confidential file on a Linux server so that only a specific group of users can read and write to it. Which of the following commands should the administrator use to change the file permissions accordingly? The answer is B. chmod. The chmod command in Linux is used to change directory and file permissions. This command allows the administrator to specify which users or groups have read, write, and execute permissions for a specific directory or file. By adjusting these permissions, the administrator can control who can view, modify, or execute the file or directory. This is particularly useful for maintaining security and confidentiality, as it ensures that only authorized users or groups can access sensitive information. Question 142. A graphic designer is working on a complex 3D rendering project and notices that the rendering process is taking a long time and the display is choppy. Upgrading which of the following components would most likely resolve the issue? The answer is B. Graphics card. For complex 3D rendering projects, the graphics card plays a crucial role as it is responsible for processing and rendering images, videos, and animations. Upgrading to a more powerful graphics card can enhance the system's ability to handle these tasks, leading to significantly improved performance and higher frame rates. This results in smoother visuals and faster rendering times. Question 143. A company needs a solution that will prevent employees from enabling virtualization technology. Which of the following measures should be implemented to achieve this? The answer is A. Implement UEFI passwords. Setting a UEFI password will restrict access to the system's firmware settings, including the ability to enable or disable virtualization technology. This ensures that only authorized personnel can make changes to these critical settings, aligning with the company's security policy. Question 144. A website allows users to submit comments on its blog posts. Which of the following attacks would involve inserting malicious scripts into the comment section to execute arbitrary code in the browser? The answer is C. XSS. Cross-site scripting, often written as XSS, is an attack where an attacker injects malicious scripts into content that is then served to other users. This attack occurs when an attacker inputs malicious scripts into a website, such as blog's comment section, which are then executed by unsuspecting users' browsers. This can lead to unauthorized actions being performed on behalf of the users, often without their knowledge. This type of attack takes advantage of vulnerabilities in the website's handling of user input. Question 145. A company's office is facing an issue with numerous unauthorized connection attempts to their corporate Wi-Fi network. Which of the following settings should be disabled to reduce these connection attempts? The answer is D. SSID broadcast. When you disable the SSID broadcast, you make the Wi-Fi network name hidden from devices that are scanning for available networks. This reduces the chance of unauthorized users attempting to connect, as they will not see the network name in their list of available Wi-Fi networks. However, it is important to note that this is only a basic security measure and should be used in conjunction with stronger security protocols. Question 146. A visitor is using a public computer in a library to browse the internet. Which of the following should be enabled to prevent the visitor's browsing data from being inadvertently saved on the computer? The answer is B. Private browsing mode. Private browsing mode, also known as incognito mode, is a feature in web browsers that prevents the storage of browsing history, cookies, site data, and information entered in forms during a browsing session. When enabled, it ensures that nearly no data from the user's activities is saved on the computer. This makes it the best option for use on a public computer, as it prevents subsequent users from accessing residual data from the previous session. Question 147. A consultant is in the middle of a crucial meeting with a client discussing project deliverables. During the meeting, the consultant receives a notification for a personal message but chooses not to check the message and continues focusing on the discussion with the client. Which of the following best describes the consultant's actions? The answer is A. Avoiding distractions. The consultant's choice to ignore the personal message and stay focused on the meeting exemplifies avoiding distractions. By doing so, the consultant ensures that the client's needs and the task at hand receive full attention, thereby upholding proper communication and professionalism. Question 148. A user reports being unable to access websites or network services by name, although they have a valid IP address from the DHCP server and can ping the default gateway. Which of the following should be checked next to resolve the issue? The answer is D. Check the DNS server settings. When a user cannot access network resources or websites by name but can still ping the default gateway, it indicates that the issue might be related to DNS resolution. Checking the DNS server settings ensures that the system can translate domain names into IP addresses, which is essential for accessing websites and network resources by name. Question 149. A computer support specialist is tasked with ensuring that the USB devices connected to a company's computer remain active and are not selectively suspended by the operating system. Which of the following control panel utilities should the specialist use to adjust this setting? The answer is C. Power options. USB Selective Suspend is a feature that allows the operating system to suspend individual USB ports to conserve power without affecting other ports. This setting can be accessed and configured through the Power Options utility in the control panel. By adjusting the USB Selective Suspend setting in Power Options, the support specialist can ensure that USB devices remain active and are not inadvertently suspended, thus solving the problem of maintaining continuous USB device functionality. Question 150. A manager in a small office realizes that a Windows workstation isn't printing any documents to the local printer. Which of the following built-in tools should the manager use to restart the print spooler? The answer is D. Services. The print spooler is a service that manages all print jobs sent to the printer. If this service is not functioning correctly, printing tasks will not be processed. To restart the print spooler service, the user should open the Services tool and then locate and restart the print spooler service. Question 151. A technician is setting up a workstation in a remote office where the network lacks a DHCP server. After connecting the workstation, it obtains the IP address 169.254.10.10 and cannot connect to other network devices. What action should the technician take to enable proper network communication? The answer is A. Assign a static IP address. The address 169.254.10.10 is an APIPA address, which is assigned when a DHCP server is unavailable. To restore network communication, manually assigning a static IP address within the correct subnet will ensure proper connectivity. This approach bypasses the APIPA assignment and allows the device to communicate with other network devices effectively. Question 152. An employee needs to ensure that all data on their Windows 10 computer is safely backed up in case of a system failure. Which option in the Windows settings should they choose to perform this action? The answer is C. Update and Security. To access the backup feature, the employee should go to Update and Security in the Windows settings. Within this section, they need to navigate to Backup, where they can set up and manage their backups. This feature allows the creation of system images, setup of backup schedules, and management of restore points, ensuring data is regularly saved and can be restored in case of a system failure. Question 153. A Windows workstation is experiencing startup issues and freezes as soon as the desktop background loads. A technician has attempted to restart the device, but the issue remains. What should the technician attempt next to further troubleshoot the issue? The answer is B. Load the system in safe mode. Loading the system in safe mode allows the operating system to start with a minimal set of drivers and services. This helps determine if the issue is related to software or drivers that normally load during a standard startup. Safe mode can help identify and resolve problems by isolating potential causes and enabling further troubleshooting steps. Question 154. An individual wants to encrypt their personal laptop's hard drive using BitLocker. Which Windows 10 edition would be most appropriate? The answer is B. Pro. Windows 10 Professional is the most appropriate edition for this purpose because it supports BitLocker encryption, a feature not available in the Home edition. BitLocker provides robust security by encrypting the entire drive, protecting sensitive data from unauthorized access. While Enterprise and Education editions also include BitLocker, they are designed for larger organizations and institutions, making Professional the best fit for individual users seeking advanced security features. Question 155. A technician is working in a remote location without network access and needs to reimage a desktop computer. Which of the following boot methods should the technician use to perform the reimaging? The answer is D. USB. The technician should use a USB to reimage the desktop in an area without network access. This method allows the technician to boot from a portable device and install the necessary image onto the computer. Additionally, although not provided as an answer option here, the technician could use a CD or DVD to perform the reimaging if the device supports optical media, offering a similar solution in the absence of network access. Question 156. A team member needs to configure a USB-connected printer on a Windows workstation so that it can be used by other networked computers. Which tab in the printer's properties should the team member access to enable printer sharing? The answer is D. The Sharing tab. To share a USB-connected printer with other computers on the network, you need to enable printer sharing. This is done in the Sharing tab of the printer's properties. Once sharing is enabled, other networked computers will be able to use the printer. Question 157. A technician needs to set up graphical remote access to various Windows, Linux, and macOS desktops within a company's local area network. The security administrator insists on using a single software solution that does not rely on an external internet connection. Which remote access tool is the technician most likely to install? The answer is A. VNC. The technician requires a tool that provides graphical remote access to multiple operating systems without needing an internet connection. The chosen solution must support Windows, Linux, and macOS and operate over a local network. VNC, or Virtual Network Computing, fits these criteria, offering cross-platform graphical remote access capabilities within a local area network. Question 158. A company wants to enhance the security of their employees' mobile devices by implementing multi-factor authentication. They need a combination that ensures two different factors of authentication are used. Which of the following combinations would meet the requirements for mobile device multi-factor authentication? The answer is C. Fingerprint and password. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA for short, requires the use of two different factors from the following categories: something you know, such as a password; something you have, such as a smart card; and something you are, such as a fingerprint. The combination of fingerprint and password meets this requirement because it involves both a something you are factor and a something you know factor. Question 159. A company's IT support team needs to provide remote assistance to employees by using a tool that enables secure remote access and graphical control over the employees' Windows workstations. Which of the following tools provides this type of access? The answer is B. RDP. Remote Desktop Protocol, or RDP, allows for secure remote access and provides the ability to fully control another computer graphically as if you were sitting right in front of it. It is specifically designed for remote management and provides an interactive user experience, enabling IT support to troubleshoot and resolve issues directly on the user's machine. This tool is particularly useful in environments where remote technical support is frequently needed. Question 160. During the assembly of a new computer system, a technician needs to ensure that no electrostatic discharge occurs to avoid damaging sensitive components. Which of the following tools or precautions is most effective in preventing electrostatic discharge? The answer is D. ESD strap. An ESD strap, also known as an anti-static wrist strap, is specifically designed to prevent electrostatic discharge by grounding the technician. It safely dissipates static electricity from the body to the ground, preventing the buildup and sudden discharge of static electricity that can damage sensitive electronic components. Question 161. A technician is troubleshooting a remote desktop connection issue for a user's workstation. The user is unable to connect to the remote machine using RDP. The technician suspects that the firewall settings might be blocking the required port. Which of the following ports should the technician open on the firewall to enable RDP connectivity? The answer is D. 3389. Remote Desktop Protocol uses port 3389 by default. To connect to a remote computer using RDP, the firewall must be configured to allow traffic through on port 3389. If this port is blocked, the connection will fail. Opening port 3389 on the firewall lets the RDP traffic through, allowing the remote desktop connection to be established. Question 162. Which of the following operating systems would most likely use NTFS as its native file system? The answer is D. Windows. NTFS is a file system developed by Microsoft and is primarily used in their Windows operating systems. It offers several features such as support for large files, file compression, encryption, and advanced data structures to improve performance, reliability, and disk space utilization. Other operating systems may support NTFS through additional software, but it is not their default or native file system. Question 163. A technician is about to install new software on a Windows computer, which involves modifying system files and the registry. Before proceeding, they want to ensure they can revert any changes if something goes wrong. What is the best action to take before making these extensive system changes? The answer is B. Create a restore point. Before making extensive system changes, such as modifying system files and the registry, it's important to create a Windows restore point. This action provides a safety net, ensuring that the technician can recover the system without losing important data or configurations. Regularly creating restore points can save time and prevent potential system instability or failures resulting from system changes. Question 164. A technician needs to remove malware from an infected Windows laptop. They have already disconnected the device from the network. Which step should be performed next to ensure the system does not automatically return to an infected state once the malware is removed? The answer is B. Disable system restore. After removing malware, it is crucial to prevent the system from reverting to a previously infected state. For Windows devices, one effective step is to disable system restore, as this feature could unintentionally bring back the malware from a restore point. Disabling system restore ensures that the malware does not reappear after a system recovery. By taking this measure, technicians can help reduce the risk of reinfection. Question 165. A user installs various applications on their macOS computer. After some time, they decide to remove one of the applications. Which of the following file types will allow the user to easily uninstall the software by dragging it to the trash bin? The answer is C. .app. A .app file is the format used for applications on macOS. It is essentially a package containing all the resources and files needed for the application to run. This self-contained nature means that the application does not spread files across the system, making it simple to manage. Because all the necessary components are housed within the .app package, removal becomes straightforward. You can simply drag these files to the trash bin, removing the entire application without needing a specialized uninstaller. Question 166. A user with a Windows laptop reports that their application has stopped responding. Which Task Manager tab should they use to resolve the issue? The answer is A. Processes. To troubleshoot and potentially end an unresponsive application, the user should navigate to the Processes tab inside Task Manager. This tab allows users to identify and terminate the application causing the problem. The user can locate the unresponsive application in the list of running processes, select it, and then click the End Task button at the bottom right of the Task Manager window. This action forcibly closes the application, freeing up system resources and allowing the user to restart the application if necessary. Question 167. A large enterprise has implemented a new spam filter to reduce the number of spam emails received by employees. Despite this, some spam messages still get through, and there is a concern that employees might click on malicious links or attachments, potentially compromising the organization's network. Which of the following is the most effective method for mitigating this issue? The answer is B. Providing user education regarding phishing threats. Ensuring that employees are well educated on identifying and handling spam emails significantly reduces the risk of network infections. By understanding common threats and being vigilant about suspicious messages, users can avoid falling for phishing scams and other email-based attacks. This proactive approach enhances overall security and complements technological defenses, making it the most effective solution. Question 168. A system administrator is tasked with automating a series of administrative tasks on a Windows server. The tasks need to be scripted using PowerShell to ensure compatibility and ease of execution within the Windows environment. The administrator needs to save the script with the appropriate file extension. Which file extension should the administrator use? The answer is C. .ps1. The .ps1 file extension for PowerShell scripts is unique and necessary for the script to be recognized and executed correctly within the PowerShell environment. PowerShell, developed by Microsoft, requires scripts to be saved with this .ps1 extension to differentiate them from other types of scripts and files, ensuring they are processed appropriately by the PowerShell interpreter. Question 169. A company needs to securely dispose of SSDs that contain highly sensitive customer information. Which of the following is an appropriate method for securely disposing of SSDs containing sensitive data? The answer is D. Shredding. Shredding involves physically breaking down the SSD into small, unrecoverable pieces, ensuring that the data cannot be retrieved by any means. Though not listed here, incineration would be another possible option. This involves burning the SSD, completely destroying it and its data. Both methods provide a high level of security for disposing of sensitive information. Question 170. A technician is setting up security protocols on a Windows 10 workstation to enhance system security. Which configuration should be adjusted to restrict the number of unsuccessful login attempts? The answer is A. Account Lockout Policy. Account Lockout Policy is a security feature that helps prevent unauthorized access by disabling user accounts after a specified number of failed login attempts. This configuration is crucial in protecting sensitive data and maintaining system integrity. By setting an account lockout policy, the system can counter brute force attacks, ensuring that repeated password guessing cannot be used in an attempt to gain entry into the system. Question 171. A network engineer is optimizing a Wi-Fi network to ensure seamless connectivity for users moving between different access points. Which of the following protocols should the engineer implement to support fast roaming? The answer is C. WPA2. Fast roaming, also known as fast transition, is a feature that allows devices to quickly switch between different Wi-Fi access points without losing connection, ensuring a stable and continuous user experience. This feature is supported on Open Authentication and WPA2 configured wireless LANs. Question 172. A technician is setting up a network router in a small office. The office requires the router to be configured to ensure secure internet browsing. Which of the following settings should the technician configure to meet this requirement? The answer is A. Content filtering. The appropriate setting for preventing access to malicious or unapproved websites and ensuring secure internet browsing is content filtering. This feature allows the router to block access to harmful or inappropriate websites based on predefined criteria or lists. By enabling content filtering, the network can be protected from various online threats. Question 173. A computer unexpectedly shuts down immediately after a USB device is connected. After restarting, everything, including the device, works correctly. Which Microsoft tool would you most likely use to determine what happened? The answer is D. Event Viewer. Event Viewer is a Microsoft tool used to view and analyze event logs on a computer. By reviewing these logs, you can identify what events took place before the shutdown, helping to diagnose and understand the root cause of the issue. Event Viewer provides detailed information about system events, which is essential for troubleshooting problems like unexpected shutdowns. Question 174. A developer notices that the file extension of a critical database has been altered from .db to .enc, and the file can no longer be accessed. The developer suspects this is due to ransomware. Which of the following is the best option for recovering the data in this scenario? The answer is D. Restore the database from backups. When file extensions are changed to .enc and cannot be opened, it indicates potential ransomware encryption. The most effective way to recover data in such a scenario is to restore from recent backups. Backups provide a way to recover pre-encrypted versions of files, ensuring that data is not lost or further damaged. Regular and secure backups act as a critical defense mechanism against ransomware, enabling quick recovery without paying the ransom or relying on uncertain decryption methods. Question 175. An organization is implementing a new policy to enhance security by requiring longer passwords for all employee accounts. The security team needs to enforce a minimum password length of 12 characters instead of the current 6. What tool should be used to implement this change? The answer is A. Group Policy. Group Policy is a feature in Windows that allows administrators to manage settings and configurations for users and computers within an Active Directory environment. It is the appropriate tool for enforcing password policies, including minimum password length. By using Group Policy, administrators can ensure that all users comply with the new security requirements without needing to configure settings individually on each machine. Question 176. A user needs to configure a new second monitor to extend their Windows desktop. Which of the following control panel options should be selected to perform this type of configuration? The answer is A. System. To extend the Windows desktop to a new monitor, a technician needs to access the System section of the control panel. Here, they can navigate to the display option to configure multiple displays, choose how they are used, and adjust resolution settings. Question 177. A user needs to find the MAC address of their Windows computer to configure network settings. Which of the following commands can a technician use to obtain this information? The answer is C. ipconfig. To find the MAC address of a Windows computer, a technician can use the ipconfig command. This command provides detailed information about the computer's network interfaces, including IP addresses, subnet masks, and the physical MAC address. By running ipconfig/all in the command prompt, the technician can view the MAC address listed under the relevant network adapter. This method is straightforward and does not require additional tools or software. If this was a Linux distribution, you would use the ifconfig command. Question 178. A company's IT department is securing their internal network. They need to implement a security measure that will prevent unauthorized access from devices within the local area network. Which of the following security controls should they implement? The answer is B. Software firewall. To prevent unauthorized devices within the LAN from accessing the file server, the most effective measure is to use a software firewall. This tool can monitor and control incoming and outgoing network traffic based on predetermined security rules, ensuring that only authorized devices are allowed access. Question 179. A technician is setting up a new computer system for a graphic design project. During the installation of specialized software, the process fails because the hardware does not meet the HCL requirements. Which of the following components is most likely causing the installation to fail? Select 2. The answer is B and C. CPU and RAM. The HCL, or Hardware Compatibility List, ensures that certain hardware components are compatible with specific software. If the installation fails due to incompatibility with the HCL, it typically indicates that one or more critical components like the CPU or RAM do not meet the software's requirements. These components are crucial for the software to run effectively. Ensuring compatibility with the HCL is essential to avoid installation issues and ensure optimal performance. Question 180. During a community electronics recycling event, volunteers are sorting through various electronic items to determine which require special e-waste recycling due to potential environmental hazards. Which of the following items should be handled with extra care for proper disposal? Select 2. The answer is B and D. Laptop battery and CRT monitor. Certain electronic items contain hazardous materials that require special handling and disposal to prevent environmental contamination. Laptop batteries often contain lithium-ion, which can be hazardous if not disposed of properly. CRT monitors contain lead and other toxic substances that necessitate special recycling processes. Proper disposal of these items ensures that harmful chemicals do not leach into the environment, protecting both human health and the ecosystem. Question 181. A technician is called to assist with a computer that is running unusually slow. Upon arrival, they observe that the hard drive activity light has been continuously on for over an hour. To diagnose the issue using Task Manager, which tab should the technician check to identify the cause of the high disk usage? The answer is A. Processes. The Processes tab in Task Manager provides a detailed view of all running applications and background processes, including their resource usage such as memory, CPU, disk, and network. By examining this tab, the technician can identify which processes are consuming the most disk resources, which can help pinpoint the cause of the high disk usage and degraded performance. Question 182. A designer has been working on a project using their macOS device and needs to frequently access and restore previous versions of their files due to constant updates and revisions. Which feature should the designer use to ensure they can easily access multiple versions of their files? The answer is C. Time Machine. Time Machine in macOS is specifically designed to provide a comprehensive backup solution. With Time Machine, you can back up files on your Mac that weren't part of the macOS installation, such as apps, music, photos, and documents. When Time Machine is turned on, it automatically backs up your device and performs hourly, daily, and weekly backups of your files. Question 183. A company is implementing new security measures to protect its data. As part of this process, employees are required to use multiple forms of authentication to access the company's network. Which of the following setups demonstrates the use of MFA? The answer is D. Smart card and password. Multi-factor authentication, or MFA for short, requires the use of two different factors from the following categories: something you know, such as a password, something you have, such as a smart card, and something you are, such as a fingerprint. The combination of smart card and password meets this requirement because it involves both a something you have factor and a something you know factor. Question 184. A company employee is trying to secure their Windows 10 home laptop by enabling a feature that encrypts the entire drive. However, when they open the control panel, they cannot find the option to enable this feature. Which of the following reasons explains why the employee is unable to find this option? The answer is B. BitLocker is not included in the Windows 10 Home Edition. The Windows 10 feature that encrypts the entire drive, known as BitLocker, is not available in the Home Edition of the operating system. It is a security feature included in the Pro, Enterprise, and Education editions. Therefore, if the employee is using the Home Edition, they will not find the option to enable BitLocker in the control panel. Question 185. A user's workstation with an HDD is experiencing significant slowdowns after a week of frequently opening, closing, and saving large files. Which of the following tools should a technician use to resolve this issue? The answer is A. Disk defragment. Using disk defragment is appropriate for resolving slowdowns caused by file fragmentation on a hard disk drive (HDD). Fragmentation occurs when files are saved in non-contiguous sections, leading to increased read and write times. Defragmenting the disk reorganizes these fragmented files, allowing the system to access data more efficiently. This process is crucial for maintaining optimal performance on traditional HDDs, especially after extensive file operations. Question 186. A company's IT department has detected unusual activity on one of the workstations, indicating a possible ransomware infection. Which of the following actions should the IT technician perform first to effectively mitigate the issue? The answer is D. Quarantine the system. When dealing with a potential ransomware infection, the immediate priority is to contain the threat to prevent it from spreading to other systems. Quarantining the affected machine isolates it, stopping any further malicious activity and protecting the rest of the network. This step is critical to ensure the infection doesn't escalate, allowing subsequent malware removal steps to focus on system remediation. Question 187. Which of the following file systems is native to Linux distributions and provides journaling? The answer is A. ext3. The ext3, or Third Extended File System, is a native file system for Linux distributions known for its journaling capabilities. This feature is crucial as it helps in tracking all changes made to the file system. When a file operation occurs, ext3 logs the changes in a journal before applying them. This way, in case of a system crash or power failure, the file system can refer to the journal to ensure that the operations are completed correctly, thereby reducing the possibility of file corruption. Question 188. An employee attempts to visit a social media site using the company's internet during work hours, but finds the site blocked. When the employee asks the IT department, they explain that the restriction is based on company policies to ensure productivity and security. Which policy document are they most likely referring to? The answer is C. AUP. An Acceptable Use Policy, or AUP, is a document that outlines the acceptable and unacceptable uses of a company's internet and network resources. It is designed to ensure that employees use these resources in a way that is consistent with the company's goals, such as maintaining productivity and protecting the network from security threats. The AUP is the relevant document in this scenario because it specifies which types of websites or online activities are allowed or prohibited during work hours. Question 189. A company is setting up a new wireless network and wants to ensure it uses the most secure protocol available to protect its data. Which of the following protocols should they select? The answer is A. WPA3. WPA3 is the latest and most advanced in terms of Wi-Fi security features. It includes stronger encryption, better protection against brute force attacks, and enhanced privacy on public networks. This makes it superior to previous versions and other common wireless security protocols. Its improvements address vulnerabilities found in older protocols, providing a more secure environment for sensitive data. Question 190. A growing company needs to ensure that their data is accessible to employees working remotely from various locations around the world. The data must be securely stored and easily retrievable without the risk of physical damage or loss. Which of the following methods would best meet these requirements? The answer is A. Cloud storage. Cloud storage is the best solution for a company with remote employees needing global access to data. It allows for seamless data access from any location with internet connectivity, ensuring that all employees can collaborate efficiently. Cloud storage also provides robust security measures, including encryption and redundant backups, which protect data from physical damage or loss. This level of accessibility and security is unmatched by other storage methods. Question 191. While browsing the internet, an individual encounters a message that states, "Your connection is not private." What is the most likely reason for this warning? The answer is A. Invalid certificate. This warning typically indicates a problem with the website's security certificate, suggesting it is either expired, not issued by a trusted authority, or not configured correctly. Secure websites use security certificates to encrypt the connection between the user and the server, ensuring data privacy and integrity. If the browser detects any issues with this certificate, it will alert the user to prevent potential security risks. Question 192. A technician knows they will be 15 minutes late for a scheduled appointment. Given the need for proper communication and professionalism, what should the technician do? The answer is C. Contact the customer to inform them of the delay. When a technician knows they will be 15 minutes late for a scheduled appointment, contacting the customer to inform them of the delay is the correct action to take. This approach demonstrates respect for the customer's time and helps manage their expectations. Additionally, informing the customer about the delay allows them to make any necessary adjustments to their schedule, reducing potential frustration and inconvenience. Question 193. Which of the following Internet options tabs inside Control Panel would be most appropriate for the technician to set up a proxy server? The answer is D. Connections. The Connections tab in the Internet options inside the Control Panel is the most appropriate for setting up a proxy server because it allows the technician to configure how the computer connects to the Internet. This tab includes the LAN settings button, which is where proxy server settings can be specified. By selecting LAN settings, the technician can enter the proxy server address and port, enabling the workstations to route Internet traffic through the proxy server. Question 194. Which of the following would best protect data if a mobile device is misplaced? The answer is C. Full device encryption. Full device encryption ensures that all data stored on the device is converted into an unreadable format. Without the correct decryption key, unauthorized users cannot access the data. This means that even if the device falls into the wrong hands, the information remains secure and inaccessible, thereby preventing data breaches and protecting sensitive information. Question 195. A company is developing software for a smart home device and needs to choose an operating system that is widely supported and commonly used in the industry for embedded systems. Which of the following operating systems is most commonly used in embedded systems? The answer is D. Linux. The Linux operating system is widely used in embedded systems due to its open-source nature, flexibility, and extensive community support. It allows developers to customize the system to fit specific hardware requirements and resource constraints typical of embedded environments. Question 196. An IT department is tasked with enhancing their organization's security to protect against brute force attacks. Which of the following measures would be most effective in achieving this goal? The answer is C. Increased password complexity. Password complexity protects against brute force attacks by significantly increasing the number of possible password combinations an attacker must try. A complex password includes a mix of upper and lower case letters, numbers, and special characters, making it harder to guess or crack using automated tools. In addition to increased password complexity, implementing a policy that locks out accounts after a certain number of failed login attempts can further protect against brute force attacks. Question 197. A company is experiencing issues with their network. Employees are unable to access websites by domain names, though they can access them using IP addresses. The network administrator determines it is a firewall-related issue. Which of the following ports should the technician open to allow for DNS recursion? The answer is B. 53. DNS, short for Domain Name System, is used to translate domain names into IP addresses, allowing users to access websites using easy-to-remember names instead of numerical addresses. DNS operates on port number 53, so opening this port in the firewall will enable DNS queries and responses to pass through, resolving the issue. Question 198. What feature in Active Directory allows administrators to change the default location of a user's folders? The answer is D. Folder redirection. Folder redirection allows administrators to specify a new location for users' folders, usually to ensure they are stored on a network server instead of the local machine. This setup helps centralize data management, improve backup processes, and provide consistent access to user documents from any networked computer. Question 199. A technician needs to set up a new folder on a Windows workstation for storing project documentation using the command line. Which of the following commands should the technician use to create the new folder? The answer is D. MD. The command MD, short for make directory, is used in the command line to create a new folder in Windows. It specifies the creation of a directory at a designated path, which is necessary for organizing and storing files. This command is essential for file management and helps in structuring data effectively. Question 200. A new data center is being constructed, and the project manager is discussing the importance of various systems with the team. What would be the most likely reason a filtration system would be discussed? The answer is B. Dust particles can clog the machines. Filtration systems are essential in data centers to prevent dust particles in the air from clogging machines, which can lead to overheating and hardware malfunctions. Effective filtration helps maintain optimal performance and extends the lifespan of the equipment. By controlling the environment, data centers can avoid costly downtimes and ensure smooth operations. Filtration is just one of the many measures taken to protect sensitive electronic components from environmental hazards. Wow! You have completed 200 questions. How about one more question, as a reward for your hard work? Question 201. Which of the following could potentially be a system requirement for the installation of a software application? Choose all that apply. If you chose all the possible answers, you are absolutely correct. All the options, 32-bit versus 64-bit architecture, GPU, VRAM, RAM, CPU, and storage, could potentially be system requirements for installing software. A 32-bit or 64-bit architecture must match the software design to ensure compatibility. GPUs and VRAM are crucial for graphics-intensive applications, while sufficient RAM ensures smooth multitasking and performance. The CPU's speed and number of cores affects the software's efficiency, and adequate storage is necessary for installation and operation. Congratulations on reaching the end of our CompTIA A Plus Core 2 practice exam. Your dedication and hard work are truly impressive. With this milestone behind you, you are now a bit closer to earning your A Plus certification. The next step is to register for the official certification exam. While you've achieved so much already, some extra review can only help. So feel free to revisit our free training videos or take another shot at our practice exam anytime you want, to ensure you're fully prepared. Remember, we're cheering you on every step of the way and can't wait to see you succeed. Best of luck, we're rooting for you. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.